Hello YouTubers and fellow Magic players. So our last video was a fun brew. It was the mono blue artifact devotion OTK deck. So this time around we're going to do a competitive deck, and the last one was a best of one deck, but I mainly play best of three, and so we're doing a best of three deck today. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with my latest videos. All right, let's get into the deck intro. So this is a mono black colorless deck. I call it Black Ugin just because it's just all black cards with Ugin and then some colorless spells to kind of ramp and draw cards. So I call it Black Ugin. And so the point of this deck is to literally pick your opponent's hand with duresses, agonizing remorses, nightmares, predation. Pick your opponent's hand off, draw cards, destroy creatures, pick their hand off, ramp up into Ugin, and just win that way. So your win conditions are, Crawling Barrens, Ugin, Liliana. I mean, technically you can attack and win with this, but I don't really consider it a win condition. Crawling Barrens, Ugin, and Liliana are your main win conditions, because this can also just, pump up and then attack them for game. Ugin obviously can just keep plussing, doing 3 damage. And then Liliana's emblem, you get to start taking their creatures or your creatures and they gain haste. But yeah, so the whole point of this deck is to literally pick your opponent's hand apart with all these cards and then ramp into Ugin, draw cards, destroy their creatures, and then just win with the 3 win conditions. This deck is, I would say, it is a competitive deck. I've played against, what's it called? Gruul Adventures, Esper Yorion. I've played against, what was it, Rogue decks. So it's a very solid deck. Um, I don't know. I mean, some of these cards being 4-ofs, you can easily cut down to 3-ofs if you want. Like, you don't necessarily need 4 here. You cut those to threes. I kind of do with these. You could do those to threes. I wouldn't cut this or this at 4 though. I would keep those just because they're pretty important. So I wouldn't do that. As far as the sideboard goes, so we have 2 Blood Chiefs. This is kind of to bring in against creature-based decks where like Duress and Cling are kind of useless. You could bring these in. Extra removal. Same with Eliminate. Rider is another cheap removal. And then you have the high-end removal, Shadow's Verdict. This is against mainly against green aggro, the one that puts counters on creatures. Gruul Adventures, because they're only creatures that are above 3 mana cost, would be like Questing Beasts. So you bring those in against those type of decks, obviously mono red and stuff like that. So we have 2 Blood Chief Thirst because, like I said, you could hit Planeswalkers against, say, blue black control. You could remove, your Eliminates and Heartless Acts and stuff like that, Extinctions, bring in Blood Chiefs if possible. You have that. You have Duresses. This is against more of the control decks. Same with Agonizing Remorse. Since your game plan's already doing Duresses, Agonizing Remorses, picking their hand apart. You have the other half of it into the sideboard in case you're running into a control deck, because you don't want to have 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, because what if you play against a creature deck? Duress is pretty useless. So that's at 2 of right now. It could go possibly down to 1. We'll see it after our matches. We got 2 remorses. We got another eliminate because we have 2 in the deck, 4 heartless in the main deck. We have 2 skyclaves. This is against both the rogue decks and against doom decks because they could just keep reoccurring and coming back and coming back. And since we play a total of 28 lands, this is pretty easy for it to keep coming back. Murderous Riders, there is an instant speed removal, life gainer, black creature, destroys any creature or planeswalker. Necromantia is there against cards like Genesis Ultimatum, Ugin, stuff like that. Temur Ramp, Temur Abash. You can even bring this in against the Doom decks and call out Doom or Yorion or Dance of the Mance or whatever, the big payoff card. Treacherous Blessing is there against the control decks because, like I said, you have a bunch of removal in your deck, so you can cut those removals, bring in more draw power, keep up with theirs. Shadow's Verdict is our top curve of removal. It's there against those little things. But that's the sideboard. As far as why the main deck is the way it is, we have 2 Clings because Rogue is starting to gain a popularity again. And since we're a 60 card deck versus like an 80 Yorion deck, Cling is very important for us. It gets milled off easier, so we want to keep our egg graveyard as low as possible. We have two Duresses because, like I said, this card's good against the control type of decks, but against like Gruul Adventures or mono green aggro, whatever, this is a very dead card, and so we only keep it at 2 for that reason. Whereas Agonizing Remorse is not a dead card against any deck because it can hit both creatures and spells, so that's why we have 2 Remorses also. And usually I never cut these. I do cut these against creature decks. I keep these in. We have the early removal package. We have 2 Eliminates, 4 Heartless Acts. Heartless Acts, obviously the better one because it could kill everything except for obviously if they have counters on it. Eliminates a good cheap way to deal with like, what is it, Scavenging Ooze once it gets counters on it. So they're both good, and I do a 4-2 split. You can do a 3-2 split, but since food is a very popular deck and they run, what is it, the Troll King, this won't kill Troll King or Wicked Wolf, and this does. I mean, one after, hopefully before Wicked Wolf gets a counter, but it can kill Troll King and stuff like that. We have 4 tomes. That's our main draw power in the deck. We do have 3 castles as another way to draw and solemn when it dies, but our main draw power here is Maze Mind Tome. We just play this on turn 2, and we either scry, draw, and then we just hold up, either hand destruction, use hand destruction, or hold up counter creature or kill spells. So we have 4 of these. I would not cut these. These are very good. At worst case scenario, you just scry, and then you gain 4 life, buys you time to grab Ugin and stuff like that. So we have 4 Nightmares and 4 Predation. So the Nightmares are there against, this card is very good against rogues. That's another reason why we have Cling. We also have Nightmare. This card is very good against rogues, and it's pretty good against Gruul Adventures, because Gruul Adventures does run a lot of cards that are under 2 power or less. They run Scavenging Ooze, Brushfire, Elemental, the Adventure Creature. You can even take the token from Lovestruck. And then second effect, you can take maybe Embercleave, Vivian, Great Henge. The exile part doesn't do anything against them, but then against rogues, this hits almost every single creature except for maybe Lurrus. The second effect hits away their Journal Logs, their Into the Stories, all their counter spells. And then the third effect is somewhat relevant against them, but it isn't. But since they're playing Lurrus, you exiling their graveyard is relevant because now they have little to no targets for Lurrus to bring back. The Predation, it's a two-way street, It's a land, worst case scenario. So if you're playing against something low to the curve, you can play this as a land. If you're playing against something like a Doom or even Gruul Adventures or Food Deck or Control, you use the first half of it and you could take something out of their hand. And like I said, worst case scenario, it's a land. 3 extinctions, 3 Hoggle Maulers, our 4 cost removal. Extinction at 3 is really good. This may actually be able to go to 4 just because there seems to be a lot of, say for example, Temur Bosch, you just call out Odd and wipe their whole board. It's good against food decks because it exiles Troll King, so they can't keep bringing it back. Same with Wicked Wolf, because Wicked Wolf could become indestructible, so exile clause is very relevant. Obviously, this is bad against Doom, and I'd say this is very bad, not very bad, but bad also against rogues. Hoggle obviously it's a land, it's a removal, it's a speed, so that's the 3 of. Liliana, we're trying it as a 2 of because it is relevant. It does make them discard cards. It makes us discard cards, which is fine. Like if we're playing against certain decks, we have a Duress or a Clang or something like that. We don't need those cards in our hand anyways. Discard extinctions against control decks, stuff like that. So it's relevant and it's a win condition. It's a removal, so they have to deal with it. So as a 2 of, it's actually not bad. It's a black planeswalker, run mono black. Then we have 4 Solemns here. We're trying to ramp into Ugin, so having 4 helps us out there. And then it dies, it draws you a card. So this card's really good at 4 of. I would not change the main deck of 4 of. You can easily side deck this card out after, game 1 or game 2, whatever it is. But in the main deck, I would keep it at 4. We have 3 Ugins here. I've tried it at 4. I think 4 is too much. 3 is good enough. You're a 60 card deck. It shouldn't be too hard for you to draw Ugin here. So I would keep this at 3. I don't think I would bring this down to below 3. I think 3 is good. And then the lands are pretty basic. We have Castle for draw power, swamps, and then Crawling Barrens are win condition. So So that's the main deck, that's the sideboard. Let's go ahead and get into the matches. Brew Wednesday, as we call it, Brew Wednesday. Let's see how things go. The season just restarted. We're in Platinum. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, we have Tome, I guess. We don't know what our opponent is clearly playing, so we're against, you know, obviously blind against. It looks like they're probably playing like Green Black Adventure, maybe. I don't think there's a deck in Standard that plays this land except for that deck. Could be some obs on deck, but nope. Green Black Adventure, it looks like. All right. Well, on the bright side, as long as they don't get Henge out against us, I think we're pretty good here. Let me use this once just because I do need a land. Sure, that's fine. The bad part here would be if he plays land Henge, that might be just about over. Well, not over, but probably, because the black version doesn't have any way to remove a Henge off the field. Unlike other colors like white and blue, that's fine. And then you can cast it. All right. All right, so I'm just gonna ramp here. I can block this. Like I said, if he has Henge, that's our only way of getting really blown out is with Henge. Otherwise, we could just chump block the Kazoo Mammoth, or maybe not. Okay, so we're probably playing Extinction then here now instead. So take action. So I have the 4 life we could gain from this, so we're not like too worried about all this damage. Also, we are and we aren't, you know. Well, that kind of sucks because now he has odd and even. Okay. Only has 3 cards in his hand. So I feel like an extinction here might, so 4, 5, let's say that's 6, that's 7, that would be 8. All right, so we're gonna use this once, just in case so we don't die. In case we need to gain the 4 life here. Okay, so we're playing this again. That's actually pretty good, Hardest Act. So we can either use the mana to Tome, or we can use the mana to play Hardest Act. Do I want that to go up like that? I don't see why it matters here. Because if he has Henge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, he can't play it if I kill this in response. I'm gonna let it resolve. Ah, he has another Murderous Rider. Alright, well, we have to destroy this now. And we'll take in 3, possibly 4. Maybe even more, actually, because you can exile my creatures too. Maybe 5. Would have been nice. Maybe last turn. Alright, let's see if he's going to do anything. No, he's not. Okay. That's fine. Now we get to play Ugin -3. Like I said, we're not going to do that yet, just because we don't need to. We'll rather draw cards, you know, but if it comes down to it, we'll use it to gain life. Alright, so he only has 1 card in his hand. Obviously he has Castle. So he has another removal. Well, that's pretty good, opponent. But I have another Ugin in my hand, so technically we're fine. Let's see if he keeps it on top or bottom. He put it to the bottom. Alright. So we're just gonna play the other Ugin out here. Go upstairs. Gotta do some damage. so that way he can't keep using castle here. So these are kind of sort of good and sort of bad. Sure. Like, I mean, ooh, Rankle's a good draw for him. That was actually a really good draw for him. Yep, that's fine. Odd and even. Each player discards a card. Sure. Lose a life, draw a card. I don't think I'm gonna use it yet. All right, so let's look at his hand. See what he has. There's the henge. And then we can do this on this. We can do this on this. Yep, goes back to your deck. Play this as, yes, results. Play this as my land. And now we can put counters here, or we can do this. Probably just putting counters here. He's just going to be able to, yeah. All right, so we're going to put counters. Decline. Draw. Liliana. Let's see what he has in his hand. All right. So obviously this is also a removal, but yeah, I think I'm just going to gain life, draw cards. There's no reason not to do this. And put permanents into play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a little hard to beat. Alright, so yeah, he's Green Black Adventures. Okay, I haven't seen this deck in a while, but alright. So against them, obviously Cling is not good here. Duress is not good because it's mostly creatures, so we don't need that. Nightmares are kind of useless just because we could only possibly hit, you know, I guess this guy and the smaller adventure guy, and hopefully, so it's not necessarily good here. But let's see what we have. Shadow's Verdict's pretty good. Murderous Rider is pretty good here. Just removal in general is good. You know, early removal, take away some of the cards that are useless against them. So I'm gonna cut a Nightmare here because, like I said, it could only hit certain things. So the fact that it could only hit certain cards is kind of bad for me. And maybe take another one out for another Remorse. Or do I just want all the Remorses here? No, I mean, I can still hit some cards with this. I think that looks fine. We have a bunch of removal we added in. We still have the ramp. I think we're fine there. Remorse, we got a little more hand with Remorse. He drew a lot of his removal, which helped him out there. Put in a bunch of damage. Alright, so opponent kept his hand. I have a turn 2. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I have a 2-drop removal, possibly 3-drop removal. And this, if worst case scenario, we'll put this in play. Play the Swamp, play the Crawling Barrens. Grab the Swamp, okay. I'm thinking he's probably brought in like Duresses and Agonizing Remorses here against us. I don't see why not. Yeah, see Duress. Especially because his removal is pretty dead against us, so you might as well bring in Duresses and Remorses if you have them in your sideboard. This card is actually kind of pretty good against them because all the relevant cards that we care for or want, it's going to be 3 costs or higher. So the question is, what is he going to take here? I mean, my hand is pretty good against his deck. Outside of Henge, my hand's pretty good. Oh, so he's... Okay. Love struck. Love struck. Love struck. Yep, I take 1. So whatever he plays, we're going to Heartless Act it, then play Nightmare on the token. Yeah, I mean that's fine. So I was gonna Heartless Act whatever he plays, but I don't know if that's worth it. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. It does slow him down, helps me out, but I'd rather just I'll wait. Because I can do it the turn. This is the third effect is going off. So the reason why I'm waiting here is I can do it the turn the third effect is going off, so I can exile this from the graveyard. And to see if I would have killed it, he just kind of recasted it. Yep, sure. Can't attack currently. Right, let's see what he has. Oh my gosh, he has Questing Beast, and Knight. See, and that's why this is kind of not that great here. So Questing Beast, huh? So he doesn't have a land on top. What are the chances he draws a land? So, because what we could do is do this on this. Obviously, he can play this. I guess we're just going to go for that just to take less damage. Even if he draws a land, I think we're fine because then that means he's going to have to play that and then he won't be able to cast something else. I think he's obviously he's going to go for Questing Beast here, which would be good for us if he plays Questing Beast. Because we go Heartless Act the Questing Beast and then Predation the other Questing Beast out of his hand. We still need some gas here, but Questing Beast is fine. We'll go ahead and just destroy this now. And then we also get to exile Skyclave. He doesn't do any damage to us. That's a good draw. A very good draw. Alright, so let's reveal his hand. Ooh, he drew a Vivian. That. Oh man, that's a really good card. That was actually a very, very good draw. Do I take the chance and hope he doesn't draw a land? I guess. If he doesn't draw a land, we're taking... Oh, but he has this. I forgot about that. That he has a draw power. But the Questing Beast is still doing 4 damage to us. And if we didn't take the Questing Beast, we took Vivian. He can cast this and cast Questing Beast if he drew a land and hit me for... What is that? 9 damage? That's a 2-turn clock on me. At least this way, he's only going to hit me for 5. That's a good card, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll keep that. It kills the Love Struck Beast. And I get to use the Tome to draw a card. So I didn't ramp this game. We're only at 6 mana. So even if I draw Ugin, it's not going to do anything. So we gotta see what we can do. So maybe the next... He drew the Henge. Oh my gosh, he drew the Henge. Nothing I can do about that. We're gonna use this. It's more mana intensive. So that way we use all our mana. All right. All right. The Henge is very tough to deal with, for sure. He has 3, 6, 7, 8, so he'll have 3 extra mana to cast something off the top of his deck. Oh, what? He plays Adium's Awakening in this deck? Wow. Okay, that's very unexpected. There's no way I'm going to predict that ever. Yeah, I don't see us winning. Okay, well, we know now, I guess. There's no way I can predict that. All right, so we bring in the Remorse here. I guess we bring in a cling here, maybe. Let's see, no. But like I said, this is a little slow. A Diem's Awakening, huh? Interesting, since he doesn't really run that many creatures that are low cost. I'm on the play now. I think I'm gonna bring in more hand destruction here, actually. I think that's better. Yeah, we'll do that. Especially since he brings in duresses against me. I think we're fine this way. It's all tap mana. If he has a duress, I kind of get messed up. All right, we'll try it. Hoping to draw a untap source off the top, but worst case scenario, we do have our 2 mana, so we could use Heartless and Tome. Best case scenario would be an untapped here. I guess not. It's still a mana though, but untapped would have been ideal because now he probably has the rest. He kept the card on top. Not left stroke. Okay, that's fine for us. Shadow's Verdict is actually good for us as well. But 3-tap sources is not good for us. We have Extinction, we have Liliana. We have Solemn, we could ramp ourselves a little bit, so we could do a turn, you know, I guess it's a matter of turn 5 regardless, because we cast this 4 to get their 5th mana, and we cast this on our 5. To beat this deck, you literally have to try to keep him off Henge. We could have done that last game, but we didn't expect him, you know, we knew 2 of the cards in his hand, and we weren't expecting him to draw the last card to be the one. So I'm going to use this, obviously. I might use it at upkeep too, just in case I could hit my 4th untap land. I have to hit my 4th untap land, so yeah, I have to use it at upkeep. If I don't scry a land right now. Why do I have 51? He has 49. Oh, because he used Fable Passage. That's right, and he was on the draw. Edge roll's fine. Okay, there's our land. We don't need this anymore. Draw. Let's play this, play this. Take action. He gets to cast this guy and draw a card, but, you know. I'm going to put another stop here just to be safe to hit another land. Because we can Extinction Odd and then use Tome to draw a card, hopefully. Rankle. All right, well, then I guess we're doing... Guess we're not... I don't know. Let's see. I guess we're doing Heartless Act on it instead. If he makes me sack a creature, each player discards a card. Okay. Interesting. So, what is he setting up for that he's making each player discard a card? Alright, we'll just draw here. Draw land naturally. I can't really use this because then I had to get rid of essential cards. Don't have enough cards. I mean, I could minus and kill this, I guess. And then Heartless Act this, so that way he doesn't draw a card off this as well. Yeah, that might not be bad. Sure. The bad part would be if he has Questing Beasts.
The best thing about zombies is their adoring obedience. Get out of my way already.
No attacks. He has Questing Beasts, that's very bad for us. And then Extinction would have been just much better for us. He's debating on either attacking Liliana or me. He's going after me, huh? Interesting. All right, we'll go ahead and destroy that then, I guess. So he probably has something to kill this. Another murder. If he discarded Murderous Rider, he probably has another Murderous Rider in his hand then. I'm not sure. That's fine. If I can use my whole hand here to... I cannot. Because if I drew a land, then it would have been really good for with Liliana, but I didn't draw it, so... Guess we're playing Shadow's Verdict, keep him off Liliana mana. Or keep him off, yeah, I guess we're doing this as well. Wilt. Interesting. He brought in, oh, because I guess it tomes, but I don't know if that's worth it. So he's gonna kill my Liliana, sure. He had another Rankle in his hand, not bad. Enough structure. Okay, castle's kind of good here. So 3, 6, 7. Do I want to use 4 mana or 2 mana? I think I'll just let him do his thing first, and then I'll do it. Because otherwise he's just going to make me discard it anyways. And we're at 3, 6, 7, so if we could hit like land Ugin or something, would be in good shape. He's gonna draw a card, church. Yep. And he can't use the, I mean, he's not gonna use the discard effect because I have no cards in my hand. So maybe just both players draw a card, I guess. I don't think he's, no, he just chose not to do any of the effects. Okay. So let's draw, take one. Let's draw. Oh, yeah, that's... Okay, well, I'm taking the hinge here. I'll let him duress me, I guess. I mean, Ugin off the top just wins us the game, I guess. Is there anything in his graveyard? No, I don't care. So it's not worth taking the 1 damage. No attacks. Block this. Maybe I should have done it, actually. Oh, no, he did it first. Okay. The reason why I was thinking maybe I should have remorsed it is because if he attacks here, I block, and if I draw Ugin, he could duress the Ugin. But since he did it the way he did... Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4... I have no cards in my hand. So he's going to discard a card out of my hand. So he played it so he doesn't have to discard anything. And now I'm going to have to discard. Oh, that effect goes first. Nice. Take action. Oh, wait. Did he choose the effect? Each player discards a card? Oh, he did. Well, I don't care for Crawling Barrens, I guess. Ugin? Nope. Ugin? Nope. Ugin? Did it set the stop for Ugin, huh? Let's guess that's just game. Well, it's not game, but it's game. Because I could animate the land, become another blocker. I could gain 4 life. You literally need an Ugin off the top. There's 38 cards left. See how he attacks. Luckily, he didn't draw a land, so this is only 3/3. All right, so I can go to 11. Go block the 5/5. I'll take 3, 4, 5. That's perfectly fine. Take action. So pass the blockers. So block, block. You can make each player sacrifice a creature. I think that's fine. So 3, 4, 7. You could both lose a life. That's fine. I gain 4. Yeah. So block. So I want to do so let's do this. Gain 4 life. Well, there's Ugin, so I'm gonna choose not to draw. Actually, I could draw, because even if he makes me discard, I could discard this. So yeah. Obviously, if he draws Questing Beast, we lose the game. Player discards a card and loses. Yep. If he draws Questing Beast, we lose the game, but I'm surprised he didn't choose the sacrifice effect. Three. All right, so we have 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna go -4. He draws Questing Beast, we lose the game, but obviously we can't do it we can't do something against everything. If he doesn't draw Questing Beast, we have Crawling Barrens to stop Questing Beast from doing anything anymore. Don't want that. I want instant speed removal right now. Sure. Don't want that. Draw. Okay, there's our instant speed removal. So we're just going to use this to thin our deck out. Another body as well. And we drew our answer to Questing Beast. Okay, put counters on this. Decline. There's another answer to Questing Beast. Yeah, we're going to attack here. Because next turn we can attack for lethal with Crawling Barrens. Could have gone for lethal here, but we're not really sure it's like if he has a removal or not. So now we have lethal. So we kill this. There it is. Green Black Adventure. All right, Maiden Forte. Let's see what you're playing. So we have nothing revealing. This looks like a pretty decent hand. I have a turn 2, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's a nice curve. He obviously is not revealing anything, so we don't get any info from that. So it's most likely rogues or blue-black control, I guess. Let's find out. So it's blue-black control. Okay. And this exiles, so I do want to take this because it exiles it. Otherwise, it just goes back into the graveyard for him to use. Because he'll just be able to later on in the game exile 5 of my cards, and we do not want that to happen. Does he have a, did he draw a counterspell? He drew Shark Typhoon. That's fine. We'll take Ashiok. He can cycle Shark Typhoon. We have Heartless Act. Maze Tome. So even if he cycles, I can kill it. I think he's trying to look to hard cast it, I guess. But that means he has to draw 2 running lands in a row. Cling to Dust. How many cards do you have? Not 1? We're going to Cling to Dust my own Remorse. Your graveyard. Target the Remorse. So that way he can't draw. So he used his turn here pretty much to do nothing. Because I'm assuming he doesn't have a land in his hand. Yep. And since we're playing against control, we don't want to use Tome here. Probably going to have to cycle the Shark Typhoon now. No? Okay, interesting. He's really looking to hardcast it then. Probably should have put some stuff here, but well, there's an Ugin. That's kind of good. Well, let's see. Moment of Truth if he draws his land to cast Shark Typhoon. Guess not. Alright, let's draw a card. Like, even if he draws the land to cast it, like, what is he going to do afterwards, you know? I have 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm ahead of him on mana now. So if I draw my land, then I can just Ugin this -6 and Ugin it away. So let's pay the colorless mana, though. Let's do this. Decline. Let's remove his Cling to Dust. Draw a card. There's a Duress. That's pretty good. Now we can see what he's looking at. See if he wants to cycle Shark Typhoon now. Nope, he wants to counter it. That's fine. We have to play another tome here, I guess. My hand's just completely stacked against control right now. Go ahead, play your hardcast. That is okay. So we just -6 it now. And then what do you got? So you just spent, yep. I mean, he was missing mana. He should have been just cycling that. All right, so against control, we're bringing a bunch of control package here. This is good. This is good. We just remove all our removal. Extinctions. We have 61. Let's see. Clings are fine, I guess. Duress, Remorse, Skyclave, Tome, Nightmare, Blessing, Haggard. Oh, this one. But it's a land also, so we have to be careful. So how many lands we have? 21. 21, we have 25, 26, 27. I think that's fine. 27 lands. Yeah, that looked good. We just completely changed our deck into completely control him more than it already is. More duresses, more remorses, more hand disruption. Just completely control everything. Season reset. We're starting off in platinum. We were in Mythic. We got at the end of the season, we were ranked 315. So we are qualified for the Mythic qualifier. Okay. Okay. That's actually fine. This comes in tap, but then I can duress, remorse, treacherous blessing, draw cards, do a bunch of stuff. So it's actually fine. Ideally, we wanted to be an untapped land there, but it's not horrible. So let's play remorse. Because if we draw a black, we could play double this. Okay. So that's kind of a ways. We could take the cling so he can't. But do I even care for cling is the question. Do I just take the... I feel like I just take the Shark Typhoon here. But cling also can stop my Skyclave Shade, I guess. That is tough. I'm gonna take the cling here, actually. Just because I have Skyclave Shade. It's the only reason. If I could draw a black mana here, it'd be very great. Very great. Drew a black mana, but it's not exactly, you know? So we're gonna take his counterspell here. Are you gonna cycle the Shark Typhoon now? Yep, he is for one, sure. It's not something I care for. Yeah, we'll take the rewind here. We can kill this with Liliana anyways, so that doesn't even matter. And then start picking his hand apart. Alright, can do two things here. You can, oh, actually, you can do multiple things. I can either do Solemn here, so next turn I can do, say, Liliana Duress. I can do Liliana here, and then discard Skyclave, and then when when this triggers, I could, or if I draw a land, I could trigger. I could play Duress and Treacherous Blessing. I think the best line to play here is to do this, just to get my mana on board. If he drew a counter spell, that'd be pretty sick. Oh, he drew a counter spell. That was pretty sick, opponent. Gotta say, that was pretty good. I don't. There's no way I'm playing around one unknown card, you know? Alright, let's see what you have then. He drew Rewind. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine and it's not fine, but it's fine because we can still cast whatever we want now. Do I want? I haven't hit my land, so let's do Treacherous Blessing because I haven't drawn land here. Okay, that's good. We could kill this. We don't want to do that yet. So I'm going to use this to kill this and then possibly play Duress when it's last card. Ooh, he drew a Duress. Nice. That was good. Good draw. Took my Liliana. Very unfortunate, but that's fine. Alright. Let's kill this. Cast the creature. Cast it as the creature decides. You can kill it, that's fine. Okay. We're gonna save this because he doesn't have a 5th mana, so he can't play like an Ashiok off the top. Yep, that's fine. And this is gonna look at his hand next turn anyways. So if he drew an Ashiok, he drew Maced Home. Oh yeah, that was so good. That was so good. Alright. Maced Home actually was probably one of the best draws you can have there. And then we bring Skyclave back. Alright, you're up. I'm just gonna put pressure on him now. There's like not much more he can really do. Drawing 2 cards per turn, he only has 5 mana. So he can only really play like 1 spell per turn, and probably half his cards that he's gonna start drawing now are gonna be counter spells anyways. So we're just gonna attack him. So I want this to resolve, so I'm gonna play this out first. See if this gets countered or not. I do have to worry about my life, sort of, but this will regain me 4 life. See? There's a counter spell. Oh, he's looking at the top cards. Never mind. Interesting. I didn't expect that. I really didn't. Interesting. I guess we take this, right? So do this. And then I'm just going to attack him down. Just so I'm not going to let him get time. You know what I mean? I just hit him for, what is that, 7 damage? Next turn I'm going to hit him for 11. I'm not going to let him grab time, especially since he's only at 5 mana. So don't want to do that yet. Take action. You can't kill this with Heartless Act anyways. You kill it something else. I guess I should have waited because then I could have casted Skyclave back. Sure. So let's see, 4, 5, 6. We could do 7, 8. Just put damage on him. Sure. He's down to 5 now. can obviously exile my Skyclave and gain some life, but then that means he doesn't draw cards. I think he has to, yeah, he has to do that. He's at 8, so that's lethal technically right there. It's an Ugin. Alright, well, we're gonna go for it. Yep. Good game. Or maybe not. Good game, opponent. There we go. 2-0, quick 2-0. And this one was against blue-black control. So looking pretty good. So far, so good. That just makes it 2-0. Let's update that. All right, I'll be right back in February. Okay. No, not really, because you could get disqualified at tournaments for having random cards foil and random not cards not foil. So we're playing against Esper Yorion. So I'm playing a the black colorless deck right now. It's doing pretty good so far. It's 3-0 or 2-0. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. I do this. This is 3 mana versus 2 mana. I think that's just better. Next turn I can do these two, I guess. All right, that works. So he's probably going to Skyclave, my nightmare here, eh? No, yep, he is. That's fine. I have another nightmare to take care of Skyclave. Oh, his lands are so ugly too. He's playing some random swamp that looks so ugly. Like Zenic, like the return to Zendikar land. Oh, it's so ugly. All right, let's see what you have in your hand, opponent. Omen of the Sun. I mean, doesn't really care. Okay, sure. I have a 3/3 versus your 2/1/1s. All right. Oh, he has a Dream Trawler in his hand. So we take this. We go ahead and extinction, or not extinction, but remorse that out of his hand. Let's attack. Eliminates useless anyway, so we're just going to eliminate one of the tokens. We get the exile its graveyard. Not that that matters, but yep. And then we get to remorse your Yorion out of your hand. Another land. I guess this gets closer to Ugin. Sure. Remorse. Ooh, he drew a Skyclave. Well, we're still taking Yorion. All right, combat. What are you doing right now? Are you playing? Okay. I pieced together a few decks I'm gonna play. First, this is gonna be the first one I'm playing. Then it's a couple of Obzon decks. Wow. Aggro annoyance. I'm like, come on, opponent. You're gonna have to do something here. I'm going to win the race. You're 1-1 versus my 3-3. I guess I don't know what he's looking for. What could you be looking for? 2 to the top. So I guess he found what he's looking for because Two to the top. All right. The land, he put two to the top, and it was a land. Sure, shatter. Two to the top, and he put a land to the top. Okay, interesting. What's the chances the card he left on? I mean, there's no way the top card is ECD, knowing that there's nothing he can ECD at the moment. If it is, man, he next leveled me. No, it's Treacherous Blessing. If it was ECD, he definitely next leveled me, but it was Treacherous Blessing. All right, so he's at 9. I'm gonna ping him, do 3, goes down to 6. Should I minus here? Interesting. 5, 6, 7, 8. This destroys any creature, right? Yeah, okay. I guess I'm gonna go upstairs. Even if he draws Yorion, I guess it won't matter here. He blanks these, goes down to 5. I didn't kill Yorion. Wait, what the heck is the pause for? Does he have another? He has another Omen in his hand. Omen of the Sun, or C actually, it's called. So he has another Omen in his hand because that's the only two. Or you could do Hardest Act, I guess, maybe, or yeah, Hardest Act it is. All right, so only don't know 2 of his cards. Skyclave. So he's gonna try to target Solemn. I'm gonna kill it. So I could draw a card. Yep, sure. You may not take my Solemn. Take action. Ugin's at 11. Do you have a way to get rid of Ugin, opponent? No, you don't. So I guess I'm dropping down, drawing 7 and putting 7 permanents down. Okay. So it looks like game 1 goes to me. All right, minus 10. I could also do the plus effect on him, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3. I only got to put 4 permanents in play. That sucks. All right. I guess we'll extinction here on odd. Okay. Resolves. Go ahead, opponent. Your turn. Yorion off the top. Nice draw. But you're at 4 now. So that's just game. You can't play any spell. You lose the game, opponent. Ugin plus, you go down to 1. You have Treacherous Blessing in play. No reason to even tome here. Yep. Opponent loses game 1 against Yorion. All right. So we're playing against Esper Yorion. He had a lot of deck cards in his hand, though. He's playing Dream Trawler, too. Okay. Eliminates are gone. Heartless Acts are gone. Extinctions are gone. Oh, Treacherous Blessing's good here. We take out, yeah, take that out, put the other Treacherous Blessing. All right, that's good. That's good makeup. Are you still in Platinum 3? Oh, okay. Likewise. All right, let's see what are you gonna do, opponent? And that gets much more control-y after Sideboard. So let's see if you have more aggressive or more control-y aspect. I mean, if I draw my third land, this hand's good. I have 3 nightmares in my hand with 2 lands. So if I draw a third land, I can just like literally pick his hand apart. Kept it on top. Oh, there's my third land. And I have a turn 2 Skyclave I can drop, so there's a threat. To the top. All right, let's see. Moment of truth. Do you have Apparition? Do you have Skyclave Apparition? If you do, I can. It sucks because I lose Shade. Nope, you don't have enough combat. Let's play this. I guess we'll play this out and see what if he counters this or not. Mystical Dispute. Negate. Flash and Omen. What do you got, opponent? Mystical Dispute. Sure. I mean, I'm just gonna throw another one out next turn again. Hit you for 3 again. Went to the bottom. All right, let's try this again. Omen, sure. Maybe I should throw this out then instead. 1 top, 1 bottom. All right, let's see your hand. Oh, I don't see your hand yet. I see your hand next turn. Oops. I think I'm gonna play this one out first. So now he has ECD, so I could remove my nightmare. Okay. Oh man, I got punished for not playing this one. Take this. Guess we play this. Put this in play tapped. We got punished for not playing that one. Okay. Wow, he's not even using. Wow. I don't know if he realizes I can discard this out of his hand instead of him not playing it. Interesting. So he has Imaria's Call in his hand, and I have Elspeth's Nightmare about to hit the second effect, and he left that in his hand. So now I could just discard it. That was weird. Not sure that was the right play, but okay. All right, so let's see. I was like, why couldn't I play Liliana because of this? All right, so yep, you could go to 04. You could blink Omen, and you got it. You get to exile your graveyard. So he doesn't know about Liliana, so we're gonna attack first and see what he does. And then we can minus Liliana to kill off the Yorion. Exile your graveyard. All right, combat attack with both. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm 1 mana away from playing both of them. Shut your mouth. All right. What could he have? Nothing, I guess. I should have waited on the land, I guess, after I attacked, because then I could have brought my Skyclave back. That was a punt on my end. So my best draw. Ooh, he sacked Omen. My best draw here would be, I guess, the land or a tome. Yep. Oh, that sucks. Oh man. All right. Let's Treacherous Blessing, draw some cards, I guess. Alright, let's- Oh wow. There's a lot of people are complaining about roping. They've actually I reported people for roping. I'm not even sure you can report anyone for that, but they did. Ooh, Archon. I guess I not kill it yet. I should have done this, I guess, in response, but um, let's see. What could I draw? I took out most of my removal, so that's kind of lame. Let's kick this, make it stronger. Let's kick this, make it stronger. Make you discard a card. Let's see. Exact. Oh, you have a 2/3 and 3/1 versus his 3/3. He has evolving wilds. No point of attacking here. Yeah, because you could. So I need an Ugin off the top. Need an Ugin off the top badly here. The to give it flying plus X. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would make them both flying. Oh wow, he has extinction event. Ugh, that was brutal. That was ugly. That was good opponent. That was very, very good. I'm surprised he kept. Surprised my opponent kept extinction in play. Game one, we didn't play any creatures. That's very interesting. I'm very surprised there, but okay. Hmm. So he takes my Solemn here. That's fine. I get to draw a card. Hmm. Uh, Doom Foretold. That's fine. Oh, I see. So Doom Foretold. He drew. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online card from that player's graveyard or hand and exile it. Interesting. Well, that kind of sucks because there's nothing I really want to exile. All right. Let's put counters. Oh, all right. Let's look at your hand, opponent. Negate. That's fine. You took a damage to negate my duress. You have no cards in your hand. That's very weird. Interesting. Okay. So target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from that player's graveyard or hand and exile it. You may cast that card as long as it is exiled, then you may pay spend mana. So it's mana for any color. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can pump it and do. I could hit him for 6. He has to then block and sack this, right? Is it worth it? I think it's worth it. Take action. And then I also get my token actually, so yeah, it's worth it. I guess if I didn't play Duress, that would have been lethal, and he was forced to block. Interesting. Third one, you may choose. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. I guess we do this and target negate. Can even take Heartless Act, destroy his thing? Sure. Destroy this. I get my 3/3 now. He's forced to sack Treacherous Blessing, which is actually good for him because he's low on life. But now he has to have lethal 2 ways. That's game. I mean, he gains life, but that's game. All right. Boom. 3-0. Easy 3-0. Just like that. We beat Yorion. We beat Green Black Adventure. We beat Blue Black Control. Looking good so far. All right. So he's probably going to just bounce whatever we play. So let's just kill this. Play this as my tap Swords Pass. That's gonna. But he needs 3 black, so he doesn't even have 3 black. He has 2 now. Okay, that's fine. Play this, play Solemn, look for a land. Even if he bounces it, that's fine. We got our land out of it. Guess he drew a creature. Oh, next turn, I guess we get to kill it off. I heard the explosion. It's a known thing in arena roping. I don't know why. It's like you're wasting your time. I don't understand roping because you're wasting your own time too. It's not like you know what I mean? Like you're not gaining. Ooh, so let's use Nightmare, destroy Sorin Thought Thief here, I guess. He can't do any, he can't flash these guys in. He only has 1 blue. What is he thinking here? Oh, he's thinking about he can't bounce it because he can't return your own cards. He can only return your opponent's cards. If he was thinking about bouncing it, that's not how it works. I could stream it on the Discord too if you want to watch. It's fine. I could share a screen. Let's see. Share your screen. MTG, go live. All right, do you see it? Okay. All right, so I guess we're gonna scry here. Oh, it's not my turn yet. I thought it was my turn. Playing against big rogues. All right, now he can use his Brazen Borrower. Oh, I get to take one of them away out of his hand at least, though. Second effect's gonna resolve. Oh, I do want that, but I also want a land. Interesting. I don't know if I could pass that up. I do want to play Solemn though, and I don't have 6 mana. I only have 4. That's tough. I guess I'm gonna have to put it to the bottom. If I draw a land, it's even better. There we go. Because now I can play Solemn and use Maze Mind Tome here. Oh, I can't take Petty Theft? Why not? Because it doesn't count that way. But so it's the creature everywhere outside of on the stack. Oh, I see. Okay. Right. Okay. I see. Okay. I thought it was maybe like a spell everywhere outside of on the stack, but it's the other way around. Okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. All right. Let's go ahead and attack. He can't block my Solemn. And then we get to draw a card with Maze. He's gonna flash this in, I guess. Put some threat on. But he's hitting me for 3. I'm hitting him for 4. So, and then I Liliana kill this if I want. Nice. That's really good. Nice. No, not a fan. I like the controller. Interesting. Okay. This guy, all right. And Liliana gets to get a free card out of his hand. Thank you. That was like the perfect turn ever. 8 mana worth of cards and made him discard a card. Yep, and I have 2 tomes in play, so yeah. So that's like that was like the perfect turn. Needed land and I drew land. Yep. No. All right, let's make you discard another card, I guess. Sure. Yep, now you're just gonna discard the last card unless it's another flash card. Okay. Well then, yeah. Let's go ahead and draw a card now. That sucked. I can't even play. I already played my land this turn, so yeah, let's go with this other one. Oh, there we go. I could kill this now. So I could block this, kill this. I might as well just do it now. No, I blocked the Thief Guild Enforcer and I could kill the flyer. I could wait, but if yeah, let's see what he does. I mean, he's not going to attack here with Guild Enforcer just because I have this guy. So he's just going to swing here, which is perfectly fine because I'm just going to kill it. Yep. All right, we kill this. If he counters it, that's fine. Then I can use Liliana to kill it. Worst case scenario. What's her emblem again? You get an emblem at the beginning of combat. You put target creature card from a graveyard into the battlefield. All right, so let's look at your hand first. Another Guild Enforcer. Okay. All right. No, I'm just gonna plus. So I'm gonna play my land here. Just gonna plus, get it. Yep, get it to emblem. I can block with Crawling Barrens. No. I'm just gonna Crawling Barrens, kill off both his creatures, and then emblem. I lose Crawling Barrens. That's fine. Yeah. Block here, and then I get an emblem. Yep. Yep, game over. Yeah, because I'm like, oh, you have 5 creatures in there. I'll take them one by one. All right. Yeah. So we have 2 main deck clings. That does help. He's playing the big version of Rogue because he's not having Lurrus as his companion. So we just want, I guess, more instant speed, maybe some more removal from his hand. Extinction's not very great here, just because I'm not really trying to play at sorcery speed here. Yeah, Solemn's pretty slow. I'm gonna keep one in just in case I need a creature there. I have Skyclave, so technically I don't really need it. Yeah, I'll just cut all 4 Solemns here. I'm gonna cut one of these. I mean, it does look at their hand, but that technically doesn't hit too much, I guess. Yeah, but I run 28 lands, so cutting one in a 60 card deck won't matter because I have 21 basics, I have 3 of these and 4 of these, so that's 28 lands. So if I cut this, there's 27 lands in a 60 card deck, still good. Remorse, it takes any card out of their hand and exiles it. Or any non-land and takes it and exiles it. I think 61's fine, anyways, because they're trying to mill me as well, so 61 should be fine. Nightmare is actually very good against rogues, yeah. You can't get rid of your own graveyard, but it kills their no, it kills a creature on their side. It takes a card out of their hand. Yeah, it can only destroy a target creature opponent controls. Well, this is unfortunate because Castle comes in tap because of this, but I have to keep this. Like I'm on the draw as well, So obviously, I mean, it depends. Ooh, I drew a, that's good. Yeah, that was a good draw. I mean, he mills 3 cards, which they always have a turn one rune crab for some reason. Okay, so he can counter anything I play if he has drawn a lock. So do I? I'm thinking, yeah, do like Heartless Act. I could Agonize the Remorse and force him to use up something, and then the following turn, if he doesn't counter this, then the next turn I know I can cast this and it doesn't counter. Might do that. That seems kind of yeah. Let's go for it. If he doesn't have a counter spell here, I could take anything out of his hand. If he just tries to flash a creature, that's fine because that means he doesn't have a counter spell. Okay, so he has Drown Lock. That's fine. I mean, he has yeah. Exactly. And now he has to have another counter spell for this, and there's Cling. So that helps. And there's a Skyclave that helps. Alright, so he has to have another counter spell here. He's already used one drown. Let's see if he has another one. I'm sure he brought in like Mystical Disputes, I guess, but yeah, which is fine because I have 2 Heartless Acts now in my hand. I get to take a card out of his hand, play land, play Skyclave, and hold up Heartless Act. Into the story. Oh, okay. That's really good though too. All right, so let's see what you have in your hand. Wow, his hand is all lands and Guild Enforcer. I only have one. I might also do. No, yeah, my hand's too big for Liliana to do anything. I could just cling my graveyard away too, so that way maybe if he draws another Liliana. All right, so we're just gonna go to combat here. No, I could hold up Heartless Axe against him. Worst case scenario, I could use also cling my graveyard away if I don't play anything. That's fine. On the stack, we'll kill it. Yep. Oh, I would love for him to mill one of my other Sky Clays, but we'll see. And I have a clock against him, and he has nothing against me, so technically we are in a fine position. Not really, but we are. Obviously, if he draws like another Into the Story, that would be bad. Okay, Duress is actually not bad. I'm not going to use it though, because who knows if those are even spells right now, and I'm not really casting anything anyways right now. Brazen Borrower to bounce. So that means then you can't flash it because you tapped your 2 auto tapper. You used auto tapper here. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna throw out Liliana. Oh. So there's only one unknown card in his hand. What are the chances this is a counter spell? It's I so plus discard Skyclave Shade. So he's gonna draw a card. Oh, but he takes a lot of. He's gonna take 3 damage. He has Castle. He can draw a card, but he doesn't want to take 3 damage, I guess. I need to draw a land. Another Krabby. So he's gonna mill me even more cards. Okay. Yeah. Mill more cards. I'm looking for lands here only. Lands are like my best friend right now. He okay. Okay. That's fine. There's a land. Nope. So play this. Actually, I should have held that in my hand. That was a punt. All right. Ugin's pretty far away. How many lands got milled? To the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lands only. So I should still Yeah, we're gonna discard the rest. Because I could have Nightmare anyways to deal with this. Yep, and then I have he drew another Fable Passage with Castle in play. Ah, this opponent's really good. This opponent is really good. Yep. All right, what are you gonna draw? Go ahead. Yep. Yeah, I could kill it regardless. Heartless Act. Well, let's make him discard the card first before I play something into a counter spell. I guess Ugin now because it's just too far away. These can kill his creatures. Nightmare, get rid of the Rune Crab. Yeah, the Liliana can start doing work here actually, because it's gonna go to Emblem. Whatever he plays, I mean, he plays Brazen here. I just kill it. Even if he draws a creature, they don't have haste, so oh, the Blood Chief Thirst. Yeah, if he draws Blood Chief Thirst, he's good. Ooh, there's a. But now he doesn't have. Oh, he goes search for a black. I was like, he doesn't have. Depending on what he. I mean, I'm gonna get to look at his hand. What did he draw? Yep, Guild Enforcer. All right, that's fine. Well, he's gonna just cast it. So, but then I lose a card. I guess that's. Hold on, let's do this then. So he's gonna play the card. So I'm gonna play this as my land. When he, yeah. So we're gonna hold full control. Yeah, on the stack. Yep. Bring it and Heartless Act it. So play this, and then on the stack, on the yeah, yeah. So then let's go ahead and discard. If he doesn't cast it, that's fine. I can discard Heartless Act. If he casts it, resolves. Kill this. So he literally needs to top deck Blood Chief Thirst or Brazen Borrower, or he loses the game. And now he also takes 3 damage here. Yeah, well, I mean, I could take a creature every turn, right? And it gains haste too, so no. Oh, okay, we're fine. We're fine. And as this Brazen Borrower, we're fine. The only card he can have is Brazen Borrower here to stop me, and he's used 2 of them, right? Where's the other one? Oh, no. Well, I have creatures in my graveyard too, I think. Don't I? I do not. Oh, I have Murderous Rider, I guess. All right. I No, there's no reason not to just emblem first. It doesn't matter. Either way, I'm gonna do it. That's fine. Now I get to bring back a creature with haste. Yep. Hit you for 5. So what do I need to draw here? I mean, if he kills my creatures, they keep coming back. If I kill his creatures, I guess. I'm not going to use Castle. I'm going to use the Cling here. Because it's the same amount of mana. Yeah, get cards out of my graveyard, and it's the same amount of mana. And he just used Castle. Good game, opponent. So now it's lethal all every way. There we go. Another 2-0. That's 4-0 with the deck. Quick 4-0. Nice. Well, it's that time again. Sideboard guide time. As you saw, we played against some of the top end decks. We played against like, what was it, like Esper Yorion. We played against Rogues. We played against some, I think the Teamer Obosh deck we played against. So, I mean, it's winning against a lot of these top end decks. The deck right now is after playing, I think we played, was it either 7 or 8 matches and we've only lost 1. So it's either like 7-1 or 6-1 or something like that. But we're doing pretty good with the deck so far. Has something around like a, what is it, 80 to 85% win rate. So let's get into the sideboard guide. But before we do, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can keep up with all of these meta decks or fun decks or whatever is your style. You know, we do both. We do both fun decks, brews, and we do meta decks. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a sideboard guide against the 5 to 6 top decks right now. There are other decks, you know, they're fringe decks or they're not played as much. So we're going to do against the main decks. And the main decks that I think, or that you see the most, are Temur Obosh or Temur Ramp. You see Gruul Adventures, you see Food, you see Rogues, and you see a Doom decks. I mean, you might see, you know, what is it, Green Black Adventures. You might see Red, obviously, but for the most part, you're going to probably see one of those 6 decks. So let's start things off. Let's say we're playing against Temur Obosh. Against Temur Obosh, what I cut is I cut 2 Clings, 2 Duress, and 4 Nightmares. Clings doesn't do anything here. They don't care about their graveyard. You don't care about how big your graveyard is, so it doesn't do anything. We easily cut that. Duress we easily cut because they're a creature-based deck, so this does nothing other than hit Genesis Ultimatum. But we have other ways to hit Genesis Ultimatum with predation or maybe with a Liliana, and we're going to bring in cards maybe that hit him from the sideboard. And we take away Nightmare because it could only kill one of their creatures, is the adventure draw creature. So yeah, the second effect can possibly hit Genesis Ultimatum, but then the third effect is useless. So one of the 3 effects might be good and the other 2 are bad, so we cut it. So we cut 2 Clings, 2 Duress, 4 Nightmares. And what we bring against them, since they're primarily their creatures are 3 costs and less, except for the giant, you got the dragon, and you got Obosh. So since everything else is 3 or less, we bring in 1 eliminate. We bring in 2 remorse. Remorse is good because it can hit their creatures, and that's why we're cutting duress. Remorse can actually hit their creatures or hit their Genesis Ultimatum, so it hits both sides. So we bring in 2 remorse. We bring in Rider because it's an instant speed removal, so if they get, say, a Genesis Ultimatum off the top or something, or a dragon or whatever it is, we can instant speed kill it so we don't take too much damage. We bring Necromentia to call out Genesis Ultimatum because we don't want them to top deck Genesis Ultimatum. Since we're playing so much removal, we can keep the field clear and we're picking their hand apart. We don't want them to top deck a Genesis Ultimatum and possibly come back. So we're bringing 1 Genesis Necro. We do bring in 2 shadows, like I said. For the most part, their creatures are all 3 cost or less, so this card will be handy to bring in against them. It will exile it. That exile clause doesn't really matter, but it removes their board pretty much. So we bring in 2 shadows, and we bring in 1 Blood Chief because it's another removal. It can kill the early adventure guy, or it can kill some of the higher costs at 4 mana. So we remove 2 Clings, 2 Duress, and 4 Nightmares, so 8 cards. And we bring in 1 Eliminate, 2 Remorse, 1 Rider, 1 Necromentia, 2 Shadows, and 1 Blood. And that's what we do against Temur Obosh. Now, if we're playing the Temur Ramp deck, where they're the Ugin Genesis Ultimatum deck, we sideboard differently because now they're not running creatures. So what we take out is we take out pretty much the removal. We take out 2 Eliminates, 4 Heartless Acts, and 3 Extinctions. And then we keep in the Nightmares and Duress because they're Ugin and Genesis Ultimatum, Vivian, whatever. They're playing, you know, those cards. So we take out 3 Extinctions, 4 Heartless Acts, 2 Eliminates. What we bring in is we bring in Blood Chief Thirst because of the Ugins. We bring in 2 Duress because of the Genesis and the Ugin. We bring in 2 Remorses, obviously Genesis Ugins. We bring in 1 Necromentia to call out Genesis Ultimatum. We bring in 2 Treacherous Blessing because we also want to draw a lot of cards and get closer to winning or drawing some of these key cards. And we bring in 1 Rider so we can instant speed kill Ugin. So once again, we take out all the removals. So we take out 2 Eliminates, 4 Heartless Acts, and 3 Extinctions. So that's 9 cards. And we bring in 2 Blood Chiefs, 2 Duress, 2 Remorse, 1 Necro, 2 Blessings, and 1 Rider. That's against the Temur Ramp deck. Now, if we play against Rogues, We should have somewhat a good matchup here just because we have main deck clings, we have removal from their hand, we have a lot of um, creature destruction, and then if an Ugin lands, they pretty much can't win. So we have kind of the field in a good position, but then again, you really never know. They can just draw a good hand, you could draw a bad hand, you could draw cards out of order, and it messes up your curve. So what I do against rogues, I take out 3 extinction just because we run enough removal. Nightmares, Heartless Acts, Eliminates, even Liliana, Hagumaling, Ugin. So I take out 3 extinctions. I take this out because their curve is 2 or less as far as creatures go. And then even their spells, unless it's into the story, it's as a low curve, so that we can't really hit too much with this card. So I take 1 out. I don't take out a lot because it is a land, and if we take out all 4, then we're only going to have something like 22 lands. So I take 1 out. I cut 1 Liliana as a 4 cost. It could be slow. Cut 1 Solemn and 1 Ugin just because that we cut some of our top curve cards. We bring in 2 Remorse, very good, pick up their hand. We bring in Skyclave, since they're milling us, we can keep casting this over and over. We bring in Blood Chief as a cheap interaction removal, and we bring in 2 Blessings because we want to keep up with draw. Obviously, Into the Story draws in 4 cards, so drawing 3 cards, it's not too far behind it. Instant speed versus sorcerer speed, so we bring that in. So against rogues, we take out 3 extinctions, 1 predation, 1 Liliana, 1 solemn, 1 Ugin. We bring in 2 remorse, 2 skyclaves, 2 bloods, and 2 blessings. Now, if you play against a doom deck, either Esper Yorion, maybe green white or doom, whatever it is, Abzan Yorion or doom, whatever, black white doom. Against doom decks, we pretty much remove all our removal, and we bring in like hand destruction, draw power, recursion. So against doom decks, I cut 4 Heartless Acts, 2 Eliminates, and 3 Extinctions because they don't really run that many creatures. The only creatures you're going to see are Skyclave, Apparition, tokens from Omen, and Yorion. So we don't need the removal. We can use Ugin to clear the board, or we could pick off like Skyclave with these or this, or kill Yorion. So we cut 4 Heartless, 2 Eliminates, 3 Extinctions. We bring in 2 Duress, the primarily Doom, Treasure's Blessing, Omen in the Sun, Omen in the Sea, ECD, stuff like that. So we bring in 2 Duress, 2 a Remorse. Like I said, we want to take their hand apart. 2 Skyclave because it's a card that you can keep sacking for Doom Foretold. So you sack it for Doom Foretold, play a land, you could play it again, sack it for Doom Foretold, play a land, sack it for Doom Foretold. So we bring those in. We bring in 1 Necromentia, we could call out Dance of the Mance, we could call out Yorion, we could call out Doom, we could call out Elspeth Conquers Dad, DCD, whatever. So we could call out a lot of cards, and we're picking their hand apart anyways, so taking away, say, their main or their win condition off the top is very good. And we bring in 2 Treacherous Blessings because we want to keep up with draw. They're going to be running Treacherous Blessings, Omens. We can't, obviously we have no counter spells. We can't counter anything. We're just going to pick off their draw power. And then we're just going to use Treacherous Blessing to redraw our hand up. So once again, we take out 4 Heartless Acts, 2 Eliminates, 3 Extinctions. We bring in 2 Duress, 2 Agonizing Remorses, 2 Skyclaves, 1 Necromentia, and 2 Blessings. Now, if we're playing against Cruel Adventures, we are taking out pretty much cards that don't do much against them. So like Cling to Dust, they don't care about their graveyard. We don't care about our graveyard. We take out Duress, they're mainly creatures. Yeah, they play Embercleave and Henge, which are very important, and maybe a Vivian in the main deck, but I think it's more in the sideboard. But their creatures are going to beat us down. So Duress and Cling aren't going to do anything here. And then, so we take out 2 Clings, 2 Duress, and we take out 1 of each of our high-end cards. Liliana could pick a card out of their hand. If you have enough cards in your graveyard, you can use the minus to kill a creature. But at 4 mana, then they can just easily kill it with their brush fire, their 1/1 token from Love Struck or whatever. So we cut one of those. We cut Solemn once also because it's a 4 cost. We tap out on turn 4. What if on turn 5 they play Henge or Ember Cleave and attack us down? So we cut 2 Clings, 2 Duress, 1 Liliana, and 1 Solemn. And what we bring in is we bring in some removal, cheap interaction. We bring in 2 Blood Chiefs, 1 Eliminate, 1 Murderous Rider, and 2 Shadow's Verdict. We pretty much bring in removal, instant speed removal, and this card to kind of wipe their whole board, since the only creature they should have, or they will probably have, that's 3 costs or greater, it's going to be Love Struck Beast. Other than that, or not Love Struck Beast, Questing Beast. So other than Questing Beast, it should wipe their whole board. So we bring in, so once again, we take out 2 Cling, 2 Duress, 1 Solemn, 1 Liliana. We bring in 2 Blood Chiefs, 1 Eliminate, 1 Murderous Rider, and 2 Shadow's Verdict. So that's against green black or green red adventures, Gruul. Now, the other deck that's kind of popular also is Food, so mono green Food, whatever. Once again, these 2 cards, the rest is a little better here now because they run Trail of Crumbs, but it's still, they're primarily a creature deck, so you don't want to draw this when they already have, say, like 10 power on board. It's not really going to do anything. So we take out 2 Clings. Once again, they don't care about the graveyard. It does exile a Troll King, which is relevant, but we're keeping in the Nightmares, so that's another way to exile their Troll King. We could kill Troll King and then it triggers and exiles Troll King. So what we take out is 2 Clings, 2 Duress, and 1 Liliana. We keep in the Solemn here compared to the Gruul Adventures. It's because what we want to do is ramp into an Ugin and then minus Ugin and kill their board. Ugin can exile every single card in their deck, or every single card in their deck. Whereas Gruul Adventure, if they land a Henge, Ugin can't kill that. We still keep it because it can take care of everything else, but we need to keep the ramp against Food so we can get this faster. Whereas against Gruul Adventures, we'd rather be doing this, not tapping out so they can play Henge. Obviously, Food does play Henge, but luckily for us, that's a 1 or 2 of, and maybe 3 of max. But they have to, draw it in compared to Gruul Adventures playing Ember Cleave and aggroing us out. So once again, I keep this against Food. You could cut it against Food if you want, but it's worked out where I kept it against Food and took it out against Adventure. That's just my opinion. So against Food, we take out 2 Cling, 2 Duress, 1 Liliana, and we bring in instant speed removal. We bring in Rider. We bring in, well, that's the Rider as an instant speed removal. But then on top of that, we bring in Blood Chief Thirst and Remorse. Blood Chief because you want to kill Goose. You want to, because it's going to create them too much food, so they can use Troll Counts over and over. They can bring Troll King back a lot. Worst case scenario, 4 mana destroys any creature. And we want to bring in Remorse here because we want to pick off, and it's an exile clause, which is what makes it relevant. So if Troll King's in the graveyard and they don't have anything relevant in their hand, we can exile Troll King from the graveyard. Or if Troll King's in their hand, we can exile Troll King from their hand. We can take their Great Henge. So this is a very relevant card, and so we bring this in. Whereas against Gruul, we don't, because they just have a bunch of lower curve cards that can kill us faster. So once again, we take out 2 Clings, we take out 2 Duresses and 1 Liliana, bring in Rider, 2 Remorse, and 2 Blood Chief Thirst. So those are the 6 decks that you'll primarily play, I guess. Obviously, depending on what rank you are, you're gonna see like Shrines or Green Black Adventure or Red or whatever it is. But once you start climbing up, you'll start seeing those 6 decks primarily. So hopefully you guys enjoy the Sideboard guide, and of course, hit that subscribe button. I post videos weekly, and I have also created a Discord, so if you want to join the Discord, it's new. So what the Discord is going to be about is I'm going to post fun brews like my last video, and also meta deck decks, and then on top of that, I'm looking at maybe 2 days of the week where we're going to have, where if people want to play or test decks against me, you can do that. and it's going to be one day will probably be like a meta deck test, and then one day would be like a fun brew test. So you bring your fun decks, no meta decks, and we play test, and we'll see how it works. And then I give you advice, or other players in the chat will give you advice about the deck. So in the description you'll have both the Discord link to join if you want to join my Discord. You'll have the link to the deck itself, the Stream Decker list. You'll have the link to my Twitch account, so you want to watch me stream live, and you'll have the link to like my other social medias. So hopefully you guys enjoy the Sideboard guide. Hopefully you guys do well with this deck. It's doing pretty well for me. Like I said, I'm either 7-1 or 6-1, something around there, around like 85 or so win percentage, or 90%, whatever it is. And make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video.